Corinne, Charlie.
Sarah, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We're busy chatting already. Sorry to Sarah if she heard us in conversation with the Pet Shop Boys, who are both with us this morning.
Morning.
Neil and Chris, hello.
Morning.
How you doing?
This is very relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. We like it when it's
That's how
relaxed.
we roll on this, yeah.
Tell me and share with us, is this nice for you to be doing press? Do you like the whole thing of putting yourself out there?
It's a duty, but we try to enjoy it. I mean, this is our 15th album.
Yeah.
To have got to that phase seems incredible. I remember in 1985, we signed a deal with EMI Records in those days, and it was for 7 albums. I remember when we signed it, I said, like we'll ever make 7 albums. Because to make 1 album back in the day seemed like a big mountain to climb.
And here we are.
And here we are at 15, yeah. And
we
with an
came on
album
this
we wrote.
sofa how many years ago with what was she called?
Oh, we should check.
She was really great.
Approximately
It
how
was
long
really
ago?
Oh,
nice.
Selena Scott.
Selena Scott.
Oh, OK.
So we've been doing this for quite a long time.
That was our first BBC breakfast appearance, and what was really great about it was halfway through, Chris started a nod off.
Well, it was very early.
didn't.
It was very early.
And Selena
Were
said,
you being proper
Selena
like rock
Scott said,
stars?
Chris!
Were you actually asleep?
Well, I think I did close my eyes, but I don't think I was fully asleep.
I think that's why you've got the glasses on now. So if you, we bore
I actually
you,
am
you could
asleep
just-
now.
Yeah.
Are you,
yeah.
are you one of those people who can kind of just appear to be asleep when you're awake? It's quite a knack if you can do
I
that.
could almost sleep standing up if given half a chance.
Just, I call that a superhero skill. I think it is
You know,
a really
the
special
famous
skill.
designer Karl Lagerfeld,
Yeah.
no longer with us, always wore dark glasses. The story is he used to do that.
Just fall asleep.
He'd be this rigid Prussian, upbringing, and he'd be sitting ramrod, but actually he'd be asleep.
You know what's going to happen now, Chris? The audience is going to be glued
Yeah,
to
focused on you.
to look for signs of signs of activity. You're here to talk about your new single, your new album.
Yes.
Let's let people have a look at that first.
Okay.
The new single.
Okay.
Who wants to explain the video there and the images and the storyline?
The song is, Chris wrote the track. In lockdown, the various lockdowns, Chris and I would send each other music, or Chris would send me music, and I would send him lyrics back. And he sent this track through, and it sounded a bit like Madonna. And I was thinking about dancing. And there was a documentary on the television about Rudolf Nureyev, the ballet dancer. And the song became about him. And, an amazing life, the Soviet Union, defected in Paris, became a huge star in swinging London, knew Mick Jagger and Freddie Mercury. And the song says, in the 60s you could feel the freedom. And so the song is really about freedom through creativity.
There is a link, isn't there, with the arts in the sense that you've got him there. You're going to be performing at the Royal Opera House.
On the same stage. Actually, the cover of the single, Dancing Star, is a photograph we got from the Royal Opera House, and it's Nureyev on the stage of the Royal Opera House, and we're doing 5 nights there in the very end of July this year.
I think it's quite interesting because there's more money to be made at the big stadium, surely. But the
There is
atmosphere...
way more money to be made. We could play the O2 Arena for 1 night and made... We don't make any money in the Royal Opera House. But why we do it is because it's a gorgeous theatre, maybe the most beautiful theatre in Britain. And we bring in a completely new audience. And they get to enjoy this gorgeous theatre. We get to enjoy performing on this enormous stage. and everyone has a great time.
Chris, are you
So,
awake?
yeah, we're doing a
I am
condition
awake.
check on Chris.
Yeah.
He's
A bit
still-
long-winded, his answers, though, aren't they?
He goes on a bit, doesn't he?
Oh, doesn't he?
Talking of live performances, Jack, our floor manager, saw you at Glastonbury.
Oh,
Jack, that's right, isn't it?
of course.
And he very much enjoyed
Hashtag
it.
the worst moment of my life.
Why?
No, he said it. Oh, yours.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was great.
Well,
for
not
Chris
his.
either.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
was
no,
it?
I thought you were talking
Or
about
was it
that.
the worst,
He said you were
worst
brilliant.
moment of his
Oh,
life?
What happened?
Well, actually, the audience probably didn't notice it, turned out. So in our shows, same one we're doing at the Royal Opera House, there's a screen, and then the screen goes up briefly, and Chris and I appear and walk forward. Glastonbury, of course, is live on the television. We were headlining the other stage on the Saturday night, or Sunday night maybe, and there were 70,000 people there. And the screen rose by about 10 inches and stopped. And we just looked at each other. And we couldn't talk because you have the music in your headphones now. And so we both made a dash for it. And I ran around the front. And Chris couldn't get to his front keyboard in time. So he went to a keyboard position. He had second keyboard position at the back. And suddenly I run around. And I think, I'm here by myself. Live on the television. I didn't know what had gone wrong. No one tells you. And I had to do the first 6 songs by myself
Who were you? What?
with an empty keyboard next to me. And Chris was, and the other, we have 3 other musicians. They were all behind the screen.
Oh, so
which
you
was
were-
still
you-
stuck.
I was playing, but no one could see me. And I was actually trending on Twitter. Hashtag, where's Chris? Which was quite something. It was
And
worth
when
it for
you
that,
appeared,
actually.
was there like a massive roar from the crowd?
Well,
Or
I
did
had
they
to go
fix
off and
it?
get changed off the first 6 numbers. And I heard this cheer. And our tour manager came rushing in and said, everything's fine now. And then it was fantastic. There's a real rush, adrenaline rush after that, I have to be honest.
But you hated the first 6 songs.
The first 6 songs, it was really an awful moment. But when you see it on the television, I guess I've learned to be professional.
Did you?
because
Did it look, Jack?
doesn't,
Did it seem...
I look relaxed.
Here's the witness.
Jack.
Did you know anything was going wrong?
It was brilliant. Didn't notice.
He didn't know a thing.
There you
go.
go. So the crowd was happy.